let's unmute him. All right, Shlomo, is that you?
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me, and I'm very excited.
I want everyone to know this is Yaakov's brother, and Shlomo is going to share with us, he's going to share with us what he does. If I just say what he does myself, I will tell you, my friend is, so she couldn't get on, so she's just getting on, so I'm listening to myself over here on her phone. So anyways, I'm going to let him just open up and share what he does, because it is extremely unique, and I have to tell you, very impressive. So everybody listen in.
You want me to shut the sound down?
It would be here. You are completely on. You're ready to go.
Okay, I'm just gonna move the screen so I could see the people. Hi everyone, so I'm Shlomo, Yaakov's younger brother, and what I'm doing is a big privilege to work with younger fellows who are between age 16 to 20, who kind of messed up their life, getting into prison and having some hard times during their growing up or childhood. And what we're coming to do is to fix that and to actually put them on the right path and get them into the IDF, because as you can see, the IDF puts people on the right track, gives you a lot of better value and better person out of yourself. And I just finished a very interesting talk with them about Yom HaZikaron, this day from death to life. And the first thing that I actually came out without even noticing was kind of happy holidays. I was very happy this day, even though all of the sadness and all of the sad memories and all of the sad events that we've been through, that we been learning for the past 2 days with them. I think if we look at these people, like Yaakov said, we want to learn from their values. We want to learn from their qualities. And one of them is always that you can see they're very happy people. God takes the best of us. They're very happy people. And I'm sure if they're looking at us, they want us to see in a very happy and joyful and cheerful experience of life. And that's something that we're trying to teach them. These kids are very angry at the system. They're very angry at their parents or their surrounding. And we need to help them to look and see it the right way. Every challenge, everything that we experience in life, which is a lot of pain and sadness during life occasions, which we all go through in different places and different times, raises ourselves and makes us better people and enjoy life more, appreciate the good moments, appreciate the things that we have. And that's kind of what's about the sudden difference from Yom HaZikaron to Independence Day, which we're suddenly getting in this party mode from going and visiting graves. Of course, not this year. This year we're with the coronavirus, which is kind of making a different change of plans, let's say. By the way, one of the first things that pops up in my mind when I hear my brother speak, I'm always very excited. The second thing is that I have to work on my English, because my English is pretty broken. It's not as good as Yaakov, and I'm not much of a big speaker. But whenever I have the opportunity to meet people and talk to them, then I always jump on it, because I think every person has a message. One of my messages, which I carry, comes also from that war and that battle where my brother just talked about a protective edge, where he lost 2 friends in 2014. Every day, every moment, we're situations, and every name that you hear, it's like a bullet to your heart. You feel the loss, you feel the pain, and you know it's not just him, it's the family now, it's the brother, it's the sister, it's the friends, it's the neighborhood, it's the whole nation. We're not individuals, we're part of something bigger than ourselves. And we can see that one of the young guys who passed away in that battle of the 13 killed from Golani Brigade, his name was Sean Carmeli. Sean Carmeli came from Texas, United States, moved by himself in order, I see someone is here from Texas. Very nice, and very good people from Texas, by the way. And he went out to fix up something with the machinery of their vehicle in order for them to continue shooting because they're under fire, which is an heroic move, going out under fire. And nobody asked him to do it. He just knew that's what I need to do. And by doing that, he actually fell back to the vehicle into his friend's hands, and he passed away. To his funeral, 20,000 people came. And I'll remind you again, he was alone in Israel. He didn't have a family over here. He was new. And 20,000 people came from all over the country. His sports game was soccer. He loved Maccabi Haifa. And they heard that he was a fan of them. Immediately, they told their whole fan club to come too. 20,000 people within no time arrived to show him that we're not individuals. There's no such thing as alone. And that's a great message. The way I experienced it on myself is we were about to get into Gaza, and every time they pushed it off in a few hours or a day in order to make sure that all of the citizens in Gaza, there's a lot of innocent people over there, which Hamas kept them over there as hostages in order for us Israelis not to attack them, because they know that we don't want to hit the innocent people. And we're very careful the way we go into battle. So they were using it against us. Not until we knew a lot of people cleared out of their homes and we can go in safely without attacking innocent people by accident. It took a while, and that's why we were waiting. But when we had the approval, we went in. It was we got the message that Friday, it's Shabbat evening. Shabbat is the most specialist day of the week, that we're going to go in. Now, it's a very mix of emotions, because Shabbat is the most peaceful time. It's where peace comes to the world in a higher level. And we're going to war. You see the Gaza Strip in front of us, and you hear the missiles, and you hear the shooting, and it's two ways, and you hear the smoke, and there's a combination of death and peace, which is pretty confusing. We start heading towards the strip, getting ready, getting prepared, making sure we have everything. Suddenly people are having more serious faces. Before then we had a very, everybody's singing, everybody's keeping their moral in order for us to be sharp and united. And the moment we get closer to the fence, a tank comes shouting out of the woods, almost runs us over, and starts shooting missiles non-stop. Now, this is our first battle. We're very young. We're barely a year in the army. We're 18, 19 years old. And this tank almost runs us over and starts shooting, does his thing and comes back, and he saw us jumping aside, and he says, "Sorry, guys, I saw a target. I had to save the people inside." He had some special view to see what's going on in the houses that we can't see. We push back a second, gather our forces, and suddenly you see everybody's face. It's white. It's suddenly, wow, it's real, it's happening. I'm not this little kid anymore. I have responsibility. There's no going back. I have to do my job and I have to do it the best way. But suddenly something happens and the fear comes in within moments after this a small incident, and everybody's suddenly frightened. Like we almost got killed by our own force, and suddenly we're getting up and this whole confusing situation. And suddenly one of the religious guys, he says, guys, it's Shabbat, it's the Sabbath, we need to pray. Let's start a prayer. We're not allowed to move forward anymore, so we're caught in place and we go a bit backwards into the woods, and we start hiding there with all the shooting surrounding us, and we start the prayer. And not all people know the prayer or want to pray, and a small group gathers and they started a small circle. The moment they started that circle, something different happened. Something inside the atmosphere, the energy, you suddenly feel more of the peaceful environment surrounding you and not the battle. And I look at them, and I'm not a big religious guy at the time. And I say, okay, something good is happening over there. I need to join. And I join in the circle, and suddenly I feel much more safe, much better. We put hands together and we start singing, praying, and dancing. And I see how I feel better, how the energy is changing, and I start gathering all my friends together. And we start pushing each other into the circle. And the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. A moment before, we just got ran over by a tank of our own forces, and we're going to run into Gaza in order to fight and win the battle. And I remember how the circle is getting bigger and bigger, and I'm looking at the faces, and suddenly they seem much more happy. And the special thing, what really made me realize how connected we are all together. We're all from the same place, and we all want the same thing, and we're here to do good. And no matter your race, who you are, where you come from, we all want to fight for the good. And this group is a bunch of Russians, Ethiopians, different type of Israelis. We have the Ashkenaz, which come from Europe, the Mizrahim, who come from Iraq, Syria, and Arab countries, and Jews and non-Jews, and we have Christian and Muslims inside the IDF, and we're all together inside a big circle, starting to dance together. And we know we're going to do the right thing. We're fighting in the name of good. We want peace. And the whole atmosphere changes, and we're ready for battle. We're ready for going, bringing peace. And we're all feeling like we're one. We understand that we have a mission. We're all one. We're not just individuals. We're all a part of the puzzle, let's say. We all need to connect and get together. That's one of my special moments that I take with me and that go with me from that battle, to realize that I need to make more unity in this world, and it's something that we all need to do. We all need to connect. So for me, it's a huge honor to be here talking and sharing this with you. And I hope that you all carry that message out, that we're all one, we're all here in order to do good things, in order to give, in order to fight in the name of peace and love and unity. And that's what we stand for. That's the Israeli story. No matter what, we keep on that with that message, with all the terror, with all the tragedies that we go through. We keep on a smile and we say, guys, we're here to live. That's it. That's all. I hope I didn't take too much time.
No, not at all. But I have to tell you that the story about the prayer is amazing. That right away I thought, how, first of all, the connection, prayer and peace, but also the fact that Hashem can actually show up right on the border and inside even of Gaza. You begin to pray and everything begins to change. I mean, this is a story. I mean, and of course, I mean, if I may say it, it's like right in the middle of hell. It's and it's not always the same concept as many people might think, but what we're talking about is right in the middle of the most difficult of circumstances, when life is hanging by a thread. And here, look what you did. I mean, amazing. That's just amazing. What a story. What a story. Thank God. Thank God. Exactly.
In the most difficult times where we see a glimpse of the goodness that he brings us.
Exactly. You're right in the middle. It's I'm just reminded that he promises us, he says, I am going to be with you in trouble. I'm going to be right there with you. So that's, what a story. Wow. And how's your family doing with the COVID? Have you, have all of you been kind of COVID free, or how has that been with the family?
It's been quite an experience. Everybody's feeling well, thank God. We have, before the Shabbat, before the Sabbath, a Zoom conversation just like this, where everybody talks together and shares a small moment of his week, and the nephews get to see the grandparents and the great grandparents, and it's something that brought up from the situation. My parents saw me first this Shabbat, where I came out after more than 40 days. It's about the same time that I didn't see them because of the battle. Because right now, because of the COVID, it may be even longer. It's more than a month. It's close to 50 days already that I wasn't there, because we were closed here with the guys, which was very intense. But we got to share a lot of messages and think that this is a part of history that makes us better as people. We need to connect more and see how we need each other. So we got to do a Shabbat together with my parents and my older brother, who came from the United States right before it started.
Wow.
So the family is doing well, thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
Just met through conversation with other people around the States, around the world.
Everyone, when you come here to Israel, this is the experience you have. And it happens that I had a small group of ladies that were from Texas that were staying here at my place, and we were going to the Gush Katif Museum. So it was in the Gush Katif Museum that we met Shlomo. And this is how it all began. And then he introduced us to Yaakov, and then we ended up, we were up in the north, and we were able to actually go to Tel Saki with Yaakov as well, and have him share that story. And then we went to even an outpost right up there and brought some food. Just a wonderful, wonderful connection. But this is how
you
it
met
happens.
Some soldiers in the border. I think Yaakov sent me a picture.
We did. It's
amazing. It's amazing how things come out.
I know.
God has his ways.
And now, thank God for Zoom, we can stay in touch, and we can even do more in sending this incredible message to the world, really, to the world. So thank you so much for joining us, and I want to give you a big hug. Sameach, tomorrow, actually,
Thank you very
in what,
much.
15 minutes? I think we're in about 10, 15 minutes. We transition into the time of celebration and barbecues, and it's kind of, it's like Memorial Day in America, but this is a 10 million times better at this point. So thank God. All right. And may you be safe and continue this amazing work you're doing. And we just look forward to being a part of that in the future. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for the listening. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
שאני לעצמי ואתה לא איתי, מה אני כשאני בנפרד? כי אני יהודי לא הולך לבדי, רק איתך ידידי יד ביד. עם אחד שיר אחד בוא אחי ותן לי יד, ונוכל לשמוח ולרקוד יחד, כאיש אחד בלב אחד, לא רוצה להיות לבד, רק לנצח שבת אחים גם יחד. עם אחד שיר אחד בוא אחי ותן לי יד, ונוכל לשמוח ולרקוד יחד, כאיש אחד בלב אחד, לא רוצה להיות לבד, רק לנצח שבת אחים גם יחד. להיות משפחה זהו סוד השמחה, כי ביחד הכל טוב יותר. ואנחנו שרים כל ישראל חברים, על אף אחד לא נסכים לוותר.